Hey boys and girls, welcome back. It's me, Keith, the Misprint Guy, and welcome to Week 9, in which I share with you all kinds of strange and unusual cards from a game called Magic the Gathering. Misprints, test prints, if there's something wrong with it, I want to share it with you. Now what do I have for you this week? Well, this week I want to cover dark cards. And now I'm not talking about the set called The Dark. I'm actually talking about cards that have weird inking issues, usually black ink, that make the cards exceptionally dark. Now here is a good example. This is a Vampiric Tutor, and I actually use it in a Type 1 deck, and it's got some real heavy black ink. And then also in the exact same deck, here is a Teferi's Puzzle Box, and it has pretty much the same issue. Now it's going to be really hard for you to see there, so I'm just going to drop in some scans. Now if you look at the card on the left, that is like the normal version, and then if you look at the card on the right, that is an exceptionally dark, excessive ink version of the card. It seemed like back in the day, it seemed like Mirage and Visions, they ran off a lot of these. For those of us who actually played back then, we remember, it was not all that uncommon to find these kinds of things. But, time has passed and most people don't even realize that, and it is a lot less common to find something like this. But here's the problem. Well, good news, bad news. The good news is you can actually play with these cards in a tournament. As long as they're readable, as long as, all the important information is on the card, then you can play with them. The majority of the time, the back looks fine. It's just the front. So, you can play with it. However, they look fake. They aren't, and at least in this case, they aren't. But, a lot of people have made proxies, fake magic cards, and whenever you see a fake card, it usually looks way too light, way too dark, gray, it just doesn't look right. And while I can assure you that there are versions of them where they do look right, for instance, the ones I just showed you, you are going to be greeted with some skepticism. When you go to a tournament, they're going to check them out, make sure, they're just going to give you a hard time. Now I have the luxury of showing them a whole bunch of other misprints and a whole bunch of other cards, but if you're playing with these, you just might be greeted with some problems. So I just want to let you know. But once you kind of pass that hurdle, the majority of the time they're gonna let you play with them. And they happen in all cases. Here's another card that obviously no one in their right mind would create a fake card of. It just happens. And now I mentioned there are a bunch of other inking issues that happen, so I'm going to be covering them in the future. But I really had to start with the basics, just way too much ink. So, that's really it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to get a hold of me. Otherwise, I will see you next week, so take care.